Hi everyone, I just want to go through the instructions for assignment number 2. I did go through them in class, but I just wanted to bring your attention here in case you forget what I said in class and you need to come back to them. So it is out of 109 total. There are 2 parts to this assignment. Okay, so we're going to go through this. So there's part 1, which you've already gotten your groups. If for some reason you haven't gotten a group, you need to tell me ASAP, otherwise just work alone. And using the case study I provided in class, so you would have been assigned that. Part 2 is going to be done on your own in class, as I mentioned. So we'll go through part 1. So part 1 is due March 24th. There's a medical history that I gave you. So I gave you the medical history form to fill out. You're going to do a medication summary form, which is posted. You're going to then also do a PowerPoint or Prezi about the medical condition that the client has. So they might have diabetes, they might have heart disease, and so on. So I'm just going to go out of this one and go into part 1. So part 1 in Blackboard, when you're in there, so there's full instructions, which has sort of everything very condensed. Then there's part 1 group here, which is what I'm about to go through. So you're going to transfer the information onto the paper chart provided. You're going to consider what would be considered a yes answer by your client and look at all of those. And then you're going to put those down in this chart. So any of the yes responses, and you can make this chart longer. I've included that many lines, but you might need more. So all the yes responses will go in there. You're going to look at CDHO Knowledge Network as your first place to reference, but you can use other online references as long as they're not Wikipedia or WebMD and that they're evidence-based and a recognized authority. So ODHA, CDHA, ADA, CDA, anything that's official. And you're going to then, as I said, go through those yes responses. So you're going to look at here, considerations for dental hygiene treatment, and then questions to be asked. So this will just be like, could an emergency arise? Is there a need for medical consultation? If so, with who? Is this outside of your scope of practice? Do they need medication for this? Yes answer. And then care planning, anything specific to care planning that you might want to consider. This column is questions that you would ask the client. So probing questions to get more information on this answer. Why they need to be asked the question, and what, if they say yes, might be a follow-up question. So just sort of to give you an idea to think it through if you were doing an interview with your client about their medical history, what are you going to ask them? So that gets all filled out. Then the next part is the medication summary. You're going to just research the 3 medications your client is on, and you're going to put it directly into this. So name of medication, what is it used for, what are the side effects, what are the oral side effects, any treatment considerations. So that part's pretty straightforward. And then finally, the last part is to research the medical condition or conditions, not the oral disease, but the actual medical condition that the client has. Okay, and that will be done in a slideshow, no more than roughly 10 slides. You can put notes in the notes section below. And again, this is just for me. It's not a class presentation, but it is to be written in a report style at the college level in a PowerPoint or Prezi. So that takes you through there. The rubric here for histories out of 25, the medication summaries out of 8, and the medical conditions presentation is out of 20, for a total of 53. The rubric for the presentation is here. So make sure you read these to know how to get as close to perfect as possible on that. So that is part 1, and that is, as I mentioned here, part 1 group. Part 2 individual is going to be done in class using the same case that you were working with. So you'll bring with you a copy of the medical history, and then I will provide for you all of the other forms. And so what that looks like, so I'll open that up, is the forms I'll be providing, and you'll be filling out your full care plan and progress note and EOIO dental charting everything for your client. You will also write a short report to explain your findings. So to basically explain how you came up with your diagnosis and your care plan. And this is going to be due on March 31st. And it's going to be APA format, no more than 4 pages double spaced. So essentially you will have all of class to do this, and then you'll have a week to write the report, and then you'll hand it in to me the second half of the assignment time, so the second week. And the rubric is here for care planning, so this goes through all the forms, the diagnosis, the goals, interventions, expected outcomes, evaluation, and appointment plan. This is the rubric for the report that you'll be writing. And then this is your final rubric. You will need to hand these rubrics in. So this rubric, each person needs to hand one of those in, and you'll also need to hand this one in with your final assignment. So back to Blackboard, that basically talks about assignment 1 and 2, or sorry, assignment 2, part 1 and 2. And then back to the full instructions, it just talks about part 2 as I just went through. Also, there will be a peer assessment. So in the second half of the in-class assignment, you will be given an opportunity to view a peer's care plan, provide feedback, which is out of 5 marks, and then ultimately you'll hand that back, and that person can use your feedback, not use your feedback, but each person will get an opportunity to then make any changes and then hand it in to be marked. That is assignment number 2, and if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask.